Jack here for Barmy Army TV. I'm here at Leigh Sports Village, our third Manchester derby of the season, our second loss unfortunately. Ended 3-2 City. It ended 3-2 to City on the day unfortunately, but what can you do? I thought we fought back well. We started a bit poor. Have to look at Abby Mack for the first goal unfortunately. But I am proud of the players for how they fought back today, and if it wasn't for goal line technology, a referee mistake, then maybe it couldn't have been different. I'm going to speak with a few of the fans, see what they say and get their opinion about it. I'm here with Andy for Barmy Army TV here at Leigh Sports Village. Give me your thoughts about that game, Andy.
I'm very frustrated. I mean, we played better in the second half, but I just don't understand why we kept passing backwards. It's almost like we were playing rugby without picking the ball up. You can actually kick it forwards. It was very frustrating.
Yeah, that said, it was close at the end, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, they played a much more professional game. I mean, the little nicks that Ellen White was doing, not a foul individually, but if you do 8 or 9 times, tap on the shoulder, tap, you wind people up, you make it more likely that they're going to do a foul. That's professionalism. It's not something that people necessarily should teach kids, but that they definitely had the extra on us. But I'm just so frustrated.
Well, let's talk about the big points of frustration today. The goal that never was, Abby Mack's equaliser. Give me your thoughts. How did you see it?
The problem is, why is it allowed that referees can learn at the top level of the women's game? Is it because it's only women? Is that the view on it? Are we going to be that blatant about it? At the end of the day, it was clearly over the line, and that's a massive mistake. Now, whether or not the referee can give it because there's no assistance or whatever, that's by the by. But that was a terrible decision, and it 2-2, it could have gone a different way. And it's the most frustrating things. A lot of us spend a lot of money, all right, not on ticket price, but it adds up when it comes to away games and such like that. And it's not okay for a referee to go, I made a mistake. It just isn't. I know it's not the Premier League. I know there's a lot more money in the Premier League, but it's still the top level of the women's game, and a woman deserves a better referee than that.
Yeah, you said it all. Give me your thoughts. We're obviously out of the FA Cup now. We've got one more cup competition coming up this week against Chelsea. How do you see us going about that? Do you think any changes? Hopefully Leah comes back in for that one.
I was about to say, we need Leah back. I mean, we need Leah back. We play Lauren from the start. We're going to have to throw it. I'd rather lose 6-0 against Chelsea on Wednesday, as long as we throw it up. I know it's not, lobbing up football of the 1980s. I know it's all passing it on the floor and that kind of thing. But it was almost comical at parts of that game where we should have gone forward, and the player just turned around and went like that. And you're just standing there. And we love our team, we love our players, and I believe in what Casey's doing 100%. But I'm just at a loss at that, and I'd love to know what the idea was.
Well, we'll see. We hope for better against Chelsea, yeah?
Yeah.
Cheers, Andy. I'm here with Jake. Jake, where did it go wrong for us today? Start at the beginning, shall we?
Yeah, let's start at the beginning. First half, I thought, I'm going to be harsh, but I thought it was a disgrace. It's a derby, we've been building up to this for a while, and the girls just didn't seem up for it. It was slow, we were reluctant to go forward and use the wingers that we've been relying on all season. Kirsty, when Jess, both on the wings, didn't get fed much. Jane Ross up front, I'll defend her to forever, but she today, look, she didn't give us much up front. But at the same time, I want to say, we just didn't want to leave our half. There was an issue there. I don't really get it, and obviously when City scored, it gave us a bit of a push, but I think half time is when the change really came and Casey got into them, because you saw a difference in the second half, definitely. There's only so much I can say about how we didn't take our chances, how we didn't make any chances. I think that's the main issue, but it just hurts. It really hurts losing this.
Yeah, it does. It's been a bit of a problem. It's not been really our start to the year, where we had the result against Bristol. A bit before the new year, we had the result against West Ham. I know we've had a few wins sprinkled in there, but where do you think it's going wrong?
I don't know, but as a team we're really stuttering, and as a fan it's worrying to see. Okay, last week we beat Tottenham quite convincingly. Took us a while to get going in that one as well, and seeing a common theme where our second halves are much better than our first, whereas earlier in the season we were at it for the full game, and I'm worried that we're too slow to get going. That's what I'm really worried about, and it's punishing us. Look, Bristol scored in the first half, has beaten us. City scored first half again, beat us, and it's becoming a common thing. If we concede, can we get back into it? That's what I'm worried about.
Where do you see it changing towards Wednesday? We've got a semi-final here in the League Cup against Chelsea. How do we change this?
Well, it's massive, isn't it? And I just hope the girls are up for it. 'Cause look, the bottom line is they weren't up for it today. They need to realise we are one step away from our first cup final as a club since reforming. We are one step away from obviously a day out down in Nottingham. I hope they're up for it. We've got a really tough Chelsea side to play. People talk about the absences they've had, but we need to focus on the fact that Chelsea, brilliant, top class side, they're battling at the top of the league. We need to be up there. We need to match it like we did earlier in the season. City and Arsenal, the first two games. Okay, we lost both, but we matched we matched them both. If we can do that like we did at the start of the season, I'll be happy. Just need to put everything into it.
Brilliant. See you here on Wednesday.
Absolutely, I'll see you here on Wednesday.
Cheers, Jake.
See you.
I'm here with Mark for Barmy Army TV at Leigh Sports Village. Mark, talk to me about that game. Where did it go wrong?
It kicked off. That started. First half, we weren't great. We were playing too defensively, I thought. We didn't seem to want to get into their half. We just kept going sideways or backwards. And when we did get into the half, we caused a threat to them, and they looked generally worried about us. But we just looked slow, lethargic, mostly like we have done for a few games at the beginning of this after the Christmas break. But once we get that momentum and we're going forward, we look a different team. LJ came on for Jane Ross, which was a sub I was calling out for from the 5th, 6th minute, because Jane Ross was getting deeper and deeper and deeper. At one point she was playing as a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, I agree.
And she's our main striker, and she was just getting deeper, and I was calling out for Jane Ross, for Lauren James to come on, and when she came on, she made that difference. She goes forward. She might lose the ball, she might take too many touches, she might take too many passes, but she gets us forward. So I'm annoyed about it.
I hate to do this, but Abby Mack, she has made a few of those kind of mistakes. Sometimes it hasn't cost us. Today it absolutely did. Where do we move forward with Abby Mack? Do you maybe consider taking her out of the team? Do you consider looking in the transfer window? What do you think?
I think with Abby Mack, she's a red through and through. She wears her heart on her sleeve, very much like Amy Turner. I think the difference is that last year we were all kind of spoilt with Amy and Millie at centre-backs. They were our Rio Nemanja. And Abby's come in with this reputation. She's made mistakes, but they've all made mistakes. I can handle that. Today she just let the balls bounce when she should have just cleared them. I'm not going to criticise, because every player has a bad game. It just seems for some of the players it's happened in one game today. So yeah.
What do you think about the Chelsea match? Do you think hopefully if Leah comes back, maybe Lauren gets in the team, do you think we can put something better on display on Wednesday, or do you think Chelsea are too good for us?
I think for me, my own personal, today I didn't care about the result. Wednesday's a much bigger game. Win, lose or draw today, Wednesday's a bigger game. Leah comes back into that team. Yeah, Leah comes in, LJ comes in. You know, left back is a problem position, but I thought Kirsty Smith did well. She did well she did well. She wasn't great, but she did well. And on the basis of of some of the other players, you take a did well today. Wednesday for me is a bigger game. It's a cup final. It's getting us to a cup final, and where the current men's team are, they can only dream about getting to a cup final. We're 90 minutes away from getting to a cup final by beating Chelsea. You know, we lost to Chelsea at Kings Meadow. I think coming to here, it's a different proposition for them, because there wasn't the full of all of us there. There's going to be all of us there, and I think that might intimidate them. And you know, who knows? I'm hopeful for Wednesday.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna just last question. Looking forward into the future, we've had a lot of discussions about maybe changing things, formations, rotation, getting more players in there. Obviously, Tooney's suspended, but where do you think the future is? Because we see the same kind of 4-3-3 every time from KC. I would like to see maybe something else. Maybe that could bring out more from someone like Jane Ross. Maybe get Siggy into the middle, 4-4-2. Yeah. What do you think about it?
I think we've all had the discussion about the formation. The back four wasn't the back four I would have chosen at the beginning of the season. But Amy has done incredibly well at right back. For me, if I was voting on the most improved player, Amy T is that player, because she's made that right back position now her own.
Sure.
Left back is a problem position. I think everyone would agree with that. I think you want your four at the back. I would go 4-4-2. I'd play Jess up front, because she's no good out on the right. She's just isolated out on the right. So I would change the formation.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully better for Wednesday. See you here Wednesday.
I'll be here.
Fab. Cheers, Mark.